Hey guys, so I've been posting some pictures of some of my looks for a couple of years now. I've gotten a lot of people interested in how I do them. They want me to do classes for them. They want me to teach them how to do it. And I've even had a couple people say that I should make videos. So here I am. So let's begin with the basics. Before you even put makeup on, before you even think about putting makeup on, before you even figure out what makeup you want to put on, start with skincare. You want your face to be washed. You want your face to be moisturized. Obviously, you want it to be dry and the moisturizer to sink in, actually do its job before you begin the process of putting makeup on. So we'll start there. That is the first and most important part. That being said, let's go ahead and begin. I use some e.l.f. moisturizer that right now has a clip on it. It's relatively inexpensive, and if my son gets into it, I really don't care. So we'll start there. I normally do like 2 pumps, just a little bit, and most of the time I'll just take my glasses off here, and you just use your fingers. Obviously you don't want your fingers dirty, so make sure your hands are clean, but if y'all ain't washing your hands, delete me now. I don't want to be a part of that. That's nasty. Wash your hands and just use your fingers. Moisturizer goes in and get it all over. Now, I have somewhat relatively oily skin, so this is what works for me. If you have dry skin, this may not work for you. There are different types of skin, there are different skin tones, there are different problems that people have. Don't go based off of one sole person. Try different things, see what works for you. Now, while the moisturizer is sinking in, and you saw that was relatively easy. My face is already clean, already washed. I just use my Norwex body cloth for that. If you're interested, shoot me a message. I'll talk to you more about it. Before we get into foundation, let's get into the next step after skincare, which is primers. Now, face primers are a little bit different than like paint primers for your house. A face primer, I just have these two here. They're both e.l.f. brand, imagine that. You'll notice, just a side note, I use a lot of cruelty-free products. I don't like using products that are tested on animals. I also have somewhat relatively sensitive skin, and I've noticed that things that are cruelty-free I tend to not break out from. I'm not really sure if there's a correlation there or if it's just random, but I go with it. So I don't do like a lot of paraben-free stuff like that. I have some makeups that are like sulfate and paraben free. If you're into it, feel free. Hit it up, man. So anyway, I have 2 different primers here. There are a buttload, and I mean literally a ton of different primers. You have primers that help conceal large pores. I have a pore problem. I normally tend to go for one of those. You have primers that help conceal redness. You have primers that help with acne. You have primers that help keep your foundation on for a long period of time. There's a bunch of different primers. So depending on what you're looking for will depend on the primer. The primers I have here are Tone Adjusting Face Primer for people that have red tint, and I have Poreless Face Primer, both from e.l.f. This one's green, this one's pink. Can't really catch it on the camera. So I normally will use one of those primers, and 9 times out of 10, it does a wonderful job. So you can use different primers for different parts of your face as well. The point of primer in general is it helps your makeup last. It makes it so you're not losing the makeup quality over the day. And what I mean by that is throughout the day, your makeup will fall apart on you. Not physically like flaking off. Well, maybe sometimes. I try not to deal with that, but it will blend, you'll sweat it off, whatever the case is. It'll crease off if you have like eyeshadow and stuff. Eventually all makeup will come off, whether it comes off on its own or it sinks into your pores or you wash it off, which highly suggest you wash it off. Primer does this wonderful thing, and it actually helps to try to keep your foundation on a little bit longer. So if you are working 8+ hours a day and you want to wear foundation for 8+ hours a day, instead of being upset that your foundation doesn't work, maybe try the primer. Another thing that's good to remember is primers One does not fit all for everybody, and one does not fit all for foundation. So if you have a foundation you absolutely love, you're going to have to try a little bit with different primers. Some primers do not go well with foundation, and the foundation just slides off your face. I've had that happen. It's common. So you got to do a little bit of research, try to figure out what works best for you. Everyone's a little bit different. So that being said, now our face is primed, we're ready to go. Now it's time to talk about foundation. Now there are a couple different kinds of foundation here. Sorry, I keep looking away. I've got all sorts of stuff to my right and to my left. So we'll get started. Now there are different kinds of there's different ways to apply foundation. You have your brushes, you have sponges, and there are different kinds of brushes. We have all sorts of different kinds of brushes. So let's begin with some basics. Now there's different kinds of foundation. Clearly, you have foundation that does different jobs, and you have foundation that has different coverage amounts, and then you have literal different kinds of foundation. You have cream foundation, there's liquid foundation, there's powdered foundation, there's stick foundation. I mean, you name it. The world is your oyster when it comes to makeup. You just have to find what's right for you. So I have here some powdered foundation from Mary Kay. Yes, it is old. So powdered foundation. Side note, makeup does expire, so keep an eye on that. I'll get into that here in just a second. I have some liquid foundations, different kinds of liquid foundations. I have a BB cream, and I also have this cute little sample of skin tint that I've just been trying out. If you don't know what you want, you don't know what you're interested in, I highly suggest talking to people at Ulta, Sephora, the Macy's makeup counters. You can get free samples. Do a little research. Get some samples. Try some stuff out. The best way to find a good tone for your skin is to try different colors. So for example, I have freaking pasty white right here, and I have tan right next to it, both of which are my foundations. This works in the winter. This works in the summer. You just got to find the right one for you. Now with powder foundations, there's a little bit of leeway. You have a little bit of leeway. So that's just something to kind of think about. What kind of foundation you want and what color your skin tone naturally is. In this day and age, you can find a pretty good amount of skin tone colors for your skin tone. You can find pretty good colors for your skin tone. And 9 times out of 10, you'll either have a perfect match or pretty close. Now, some of us will have to mix different foundations. So it will be the same brand of foundation, just 2 different colors to find the perfect color for us. That's okay. People do it all the time. It's really common. You can't make everything. So that being said, a little helpful reminder before I get started, if you're curious about getting the right color for your skin tone, take a swatch, which is just like a little finger swipe worth. I mean, like I said, people are more than willing to help you in the beauty industry. Ulta, Sephora, they get paid to do that, so they better be nice. All those people are probably more than willing to help you, but what I highly suggest is try it out in the store lighting. Go outside, get a mirror, go outside, look in the parking lot. Look under the sun, look in different lighting, because, I mean, LED lighting is going to look different than in the store lighting, and in the store is going to look different than natural, and you kind of want that foundation to look fairly natural on your face in all lighting. I mean, it's difficult, it's not the easiest, it takes time, it's a learning curve. Keep that in mind. Don't down yourself because you haven't figured it out right away. It takes time. That being said, we'll move on to brushes. So, there are a couple different kinds of brushes, and there's the wonderful sponge. You'll notice I have a lot of random brushes, a lot of Eco Tool, a lot of e.l.f., some Wet n Wild, Eco Tool. The brushes are just based on what your price range is, what you're willing to get. I think Eco Tool is a fair price, and they're good quality brushes. e.l.f. the same way. Wet n Wild is pretty good. The EcoTool sponges I just use, they're fairly cheap, and Leo likes to dig into them. So it doesn't make sense for me to buy a name brand beauty blender sponge for $20 some for my kid just to destroy it. That being said, normally this is the brush that I use to apply foundation. Normally I just kind of rub, and I prefer this brush. I like this brush, good quality. You can use your fingers. I do not suggest it. So personal preference. It's all about personal preference. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and use the skin tint that I've been trying out. If you're looking for something that's just really light coverage, minimal, skin tint. If you're looking for something that's light coverage but still foundation, then you're going to be looking into light coverage foundation. The more you want to cover up, like if you have acne, rosy cheeks like I do, those kind of things, the more coverage you want, the higher the coverage is going to get. So medium coverage. I don't want to say medium, but it's full coverage is what it's called, but it's weird. It's like light, medium, and then full. Anyway, so if you want like full coverage foundation, hit it up. Go full cake face if that's what you want to do. So that being said, I normally will open her up, and this one you dab. Like I said, this is a sample. Most foundation is not this small. A lot of foundations you'll get about an ounce worth, sometimes a little bit more. It just depends on what your price point is and what you're going for. So yeah. And then you can see I just go for it. And this has a light smell to it. It's a little, I don't want to say florally, but it's got like a light little scent to it. For those of you that are not interested in scented makeup, they do have makeup that does not have scents. Always get the earlobe. No matter what coverage you're using, you want to make sure it's all blended. And if you need more, you can always add more, but just remember, you can't ever put it back in the bottle. So take a little bit at a time, blend it out, get into the hairline. I mean, love it up. Get them earlobes. You don't want to have red earlobes and then a pasty white face. That's my problem. So, and like I said, I use this brush. I love this brush. It does a good job. I don't have like a giant face or anything, so it's relatively quick. But yeah, and then I also have this fun little mirror. I got it off of Amazon. I don't like that it's white, but it does have little buttons so that it lights up and whatnot. So you just want to make sure it's evenly blended. Go back, make sure it's good. Now for me, my makeup's already going to be screwed. I'm pretty well fucked because I wear my glasses. And for those of you that don't have glasses, you'll have glass lines 24/7 for the rest of your life. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and take my glasses off. So I don't want to ruin this for the camera. Normally, I will wear like a little headband and stuff, but my hair is kind of doing what it wants today, as you can tell. So, yeah. And that was the foundation tutorial. If you're interested in any other videos, or you want specific help, or you want me to create a specific video, please feel free to ask, message me, comment, whatever you gotta do. I'm willing to help you. I'm here to help you. Let's be basic. So that being said, that was the foundation tutorial. Let me know if you guys are interested in any other specific tutorials. I'd be more than happy to put more up. And maybe if we get crazy here, I'll start doing videos like once a week or something. So have a great day. See you guys next time.